Government Training Institute was originally established to supply training under a DHS grant program for law enforcement to kind of standardize the SWAT tactics used, active shooter response, IED awareness, that sort of thing, across the country.
You know, it's not often that we bring in guests who basically own nuclear power plants, but this is this is one of those days. Man, you have one of the coolest training establishments I've ever seen in my entire life. So let's just dive in, man. Who are you?
I'm just a business guy. My background has always been business. Since I was 23 years old, started my first little company. Got into surplus business via the old Navy Yard in Charleston, South Carolina. I went down there and bought an item with my dad, who at the time had a restaurant, and bought stuff from the Navy to use around on his boats, and I bought a truck rear end, brand new in the box, for $275.
Wow.
Took it home the next day, sold it for $27.50, and I was hooked from then on.
No doubt.
So since then, I've bought and sold any type of commodity you can think of, and then landed a long-term contract with the Department of Energy at Savannah Riverside to handle all their excess equipment that was dedicated for economic development use. So we split that with an economic development group locally there to replace jobs as layoffs came to Savannah Riverside.
So let's talk a little bit about GTI. You bought it back in 2015. For people who don't know, what is GTI? We're going to show some of the footage over your interview.
Government Training Institute was originally established to supply training under a DHS grant program for law enforcement to kind of standardize the SWAT tactics used, active shooter response, IED awareness, that sort of thing, across the country.
SWAT school, sniper school, I mean, you guys do a tremendous amount of training on location and off location, right?
That's true. We do send crews out when it's more convenient or more cost effective for the agency. We'll send crews all over the country and abroad.
But yeah, I was going to say, you're not just limited to here in the U.S.
Right.
You've got people coming to train from all over, huh?
That's correct. And you know, any training we do offshore is U.S. territories. But we do have some foreign SWAT, people come in and do some training there as well.
Let's talk a little bit about asset trading program. Now, for those of you who didn't catch Brian's interview, you should definitely check that out. But where did the concept of the asset trading program come into play, and how does it benefit law enforcement?
We got involved with it through the Department of Energy at Savannah Riverside, and we currently run a program there where they need work performed and don't have a budget for it, and we take assets and trade for that work. We take whatever asset we identify, being able to cover that cost, and give them, that much value in work accomplished. And it just seemed a no-brainer to make it work for, law enforcement agencies where we're trying to sell them training, and that's your number one, sales turn down, is that they don't have a budget for it, they don't have money. And this kind of gives you another tool, and it's since expanded from us just selling our training to now we have vendors that sell exclusively to LE, where they can use it in their sales toolbox as well.
So we're extraordinarily excited at Law Enforcement Today to be partnered with GTI in the asset trading program. Guys, we had a tremendous opportunity to head out to South Carolina to sort of vet these guys out, to experience the SWAT school, the sniper school, take a look at the asset trading program, talk to people who've gone through the program, talk to some of the vendors. I mean, it is incredible. It is the truest roots of entrepreneurship at scale. How does it feel to look back on those experiences that you had with your grandpa back in the day and look at this monster that you built now? There's got to be a tremendous amount of pride there.
Well, I've never really looked at it that way, but just another day at the office, really. It's, you've got to be innovative to get an edge in any business anymore, and you've got to constantly be looking for it. So I'm assuming this program will morph into something else as we move along.
Shameless plug, where can people go to learn more?
GTItraining.org will lead you to our classes, our training calendar, details about the ATP program, anything else you may want to know about us.
Brother, thanks for taking the trip up.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the episode. Thank you for watching. Thanks for that share button. God bless America.